Hello YouTube! I am Pinstar and this is 2 Point Hospital Strategy and Tactics Quick Tip. So I've got a brand new ward design for you. Not the regular ward though, but the Fracture Ward. Now in my original set of tips videos I presented to you the Sawtooth Fracture Ward, and that was good enough, but after experimenting around I found that there were some weaknesses to the build, so I have come with you anew. So this I call the Four Corners Fracture Ward. It is just like the regular ward, a 5x4, but in this case we're actually going to be putting the door at the long side of the room rather than on the wide side like with the regular power ward, like right here in the middle. So after placing the door, we're going to want to place the traction beds themselves. And just as the name implies, they are going into the four corners. We want one as low down on this side, as close to the door as you can get away with, like that. And then this one, same deal, as close to the door as you can get away with here. Hold the control button to do more fine-tuned movements. I think this one we can get a little bit closer. Perfect. Now, two more in the upper two corners right here. I usually like them facing this direction, both of them facing the middle here. One right there, and one right there. Now, for the nurse's station, which is a required item, I like to put it here in between these two, and if you've spaced them properly, they will fit, and with the little nub pointing towards the middle. That will allow your nurse, if they decide to go to the station, to get back from it quickly. Now, for the plaster caster, this thing we're going to put right here, smack dab in the middle, and it's actually going to be right here. Right here, literally in the middle. This is because the nurse operates it from this side, which if they're going to be idling at the plaster caster, they'll be right over there. And the patients line up for this when they're ready to get their bandages off or on. And that line can easily extend down the middle here without causing too much problems. Now, just like with the other ward, we can get, well, see here, the wall monitors here do not play nice with the traction beds, but medicine cabinets do. You can actually nestle two medicine cabinets next to each bed on either side within the curtains. I don't know why the game lets you do that, but the game lets you do that, so I'm going to do that. It's helpful in getting your cure rates up. The fracture ward is a treatment only. There's no diagnosing that goes on in here. So the diagnosing part of the things are somewhat quote-unquote wasted. But even so, that's not, I wouldn't consider them wasted at all. Mainly because this is a treatment room and treatments when they fail cause patient deaths and, other problems. So you generally want to boost your chances there. Temperature fixture right behind the plaster caster here, and just like with the others, I wouldn't go too crazy with the other nurse accoutrement, but a hand sanitizer is not something I'd begrudge. Right then, now once again, gold star wards. I do still have the opinion that these things are a little bit overpowered, but I would put one bit behind each of your things here. And 4.5 of a prestige count, that's okay. Honestly speaking, you only really need to push your rooms to a 4 prestige. That prevents them from being a drain on your staff's and patients' happiness. 5 does give them an intrinsic boost, but if everything else in your hospital is going well, they'll be happy through other means. Cost 33, almost 34, but it's worth the price of admission. You should be able to operate all this. And handle pretty much an entire hospital's fracture patients, unless the level is specifically geared to fling a lot of fracture patients at you, or if you're doing illness advertisement for fracture patients. Now then, so one other thing, this thing can be operated with 1 or 2 staff. You can legitimately get away with just having 1 nurse in here. Later on, if the room is especially busy and you have an especially abundance of staff, then yeah, go ahead and throw a second nurse in there. But at the beginning, especially when there's a trickle of patients, you only need one nurse. They can keep up. So let's see this bad boy in action, shall we? Yes, I do have the old school theme hospital music going in the background here. So as you can see, you know, while the patients are making their way to the plaster caster, our nurse can go and see to other patients, getting them into beds, getting them out of beds. Okay, this patient is just about to be into bed. Now we got 2 people here, so she's going to run over here and get them churned through. By the time these 2 churn through, this person will probably be ready to get out of bed. This person will be ready to get into bed. It works. You know, as the patients need to move around, the nurse is moving around doing something different. And you can churn through a lot of people. Like here, you know, so there was a brief pause while this person stepped up. So we go into an idle animation, which actually improves the patient's happiness when they do that. So that's not a thing. The visited by nurse increases their mood here briefly. So now we have this person queued up, an action queued up. So she's going to either run over here or run over here and let this person out. Yeah, because you can't really tell when the people in the beds are ready to be let out. Here I was experimenting with a rose bush back here. I have decided against the rose bush only because it causes maintenance people to come in and cause a little bit more foot traffic. But if you really want to improve the attractiveness in the room and stick the temperature fixer on this side, you can absolutely do that. I'm still testing the finest details of it. But as you can see, a single nurse here is absolutely keeping up with everybody. And in a nice 5x4 package, which you can absolutely fit in here. Special report, 5 out of 5 patients cured. That's what we like to see. So, let me know in the comments how the Four Corners ward works for you. I do think it is an improvement over the Sawtooth ward in terms of overall efficiency. So, if you guys like this episode and you want to see more like it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Good, bad, or indifferent, your feedback is always welcome. So until next time, this has been Pinstar, signing out. See ya!